Taurus, remember that time when you were 5 and almost ran across the street, but something stopped you? It wasn't your mother's hand. She was meters behind you. It wasn't your own survival instinct. You were too young to calculate danger. It was something else, something you felt but didn't see. A presence that pulled you back just before the car passed. You stood there, confused, your heart racing, staring at your own feet as if they had decided to stop on their own. Your mother came running, hugged you tightly, and you couldn't explain what had happened, because even you didn't understand. But ever since that day, a part of you has always known there is someone with you. Someone you can't see, but who never leaves you. That wasn't the only moment. Throughout your life, especially when you were alone, you felt it. That warm presence when you were scared in the dark. That sudden urge to change course seconds before something bad happened. That silent voice in your head telling you don't go when everyone else said it was okay. And you always obeyed that voice, even without understanding why. Even when it seemed crazy. Even when people laughed at your caution, your mania for sensing things before they happened. But you were never crazy. You never imagined anything. There truly is a spirit that has walked beside you since you were born. A protector who chose you, specifically you, from among millions of souls arriving in this world. And this choice was not random. There is a deep reason, an ancient reason, why you were selected to receive this constant protection. And when you discover what that reason is, everything in your life will make sense in a way it never has before. Perhaps you grew up thinking you were different from other children. As they played carefree, you always had a strange feeling, as if someone were watching you lovingly. It wasn't fear. It was a constant awareness that you weren't truly alone, even in the loneliest moments of your childhood. When you cried in secret, you felt comfort coming from nowhere. When you had nightmares, you woke with the feeling that someone had driven away the monsters. When you felt lost, an inexplicable certainty arose within you, guiding your next steps. Your parents may have noticed something different about you, the way you looked into empty corners of the house and smiled, the way you talked to yourself but seemed to be responding to someone, the way you knew things a child your age shouldn't, warnings about situations that hadn't even happened yet. Some may have found it strange and tried to correct you, to make you stop talking to yourself, to convince you that you were making up stories. But you knew you weren't making anything up. The spirit that is with you is not a random presence. It is someone from your ancestral lineage, someone who lived before you and carries a spiritual debt to your family, or a mission they could not fulfill in life and now complete through you. It could be a grandfather or grandmother you never knew, but who recognized you in the spiritual world and decided to accompany you. It could be a more distant ancestor who saw in you the same qualities they had, the same soul essence. For Taurus, this connection with spiritual protectors is particularly strong because you have a natural connection with the invisible world through your deep connection with the earth, with nature, and with ancestral cycles. Taurus carries cellular memory from past generations much more intensely than other signs. You literally feel the wisdom of your ancestors running through your blood. And this specific spirit chose you because it recognized your ability to receive subtle guidance and act on it. Think of all the moments in your life when you've made decisions that seem to stem from a deeper understanding than your conscious experience would allow. Moments when you chose the hardest path because something inside you told you it was right, even when no one else understood. Situations when you walked away from people or places because you sensed something was wrong, only to discover later that your intuition was right. It wasn't just intuition, it was direct guidance from the spirit that accompanies you. This spirit has saved you more times than you can count, not just from that car when you were 5. But from destructive relationships that seemed perfect at first. It made you feel that tightness in your chest that made you retreat. From job opportunities that seemed incredible, but would lead you down paths that would destroy your very essence. It planted doubt in your mind. From toxic friendships that disguised themselves as loyalty. It showed you the signs you tried to ignore. He also guided you to good things you almost missed. He made you look back on that specific day and see that person who would become essential in your life. He gave you courage in moments where you would normally back down. He pushed you toward opportunities you thought you didn't deserve. He whispered in your ear in moments of despair that everything would be okay, and it always was. Taurus, as you listen to me, you're remembering specific moments, aren't you? Situations where you were inexplicably protected, where luck saved you by inches or seconds, where a voice in your head screamed at you to stop, change direction, reconsider, and you obeyed without understanding why. And then you discovered that if you hadn't obeyed, something terrible would have happened. Maybe you've never told these stories to anyone. Maybe you're afraid people will think you're exaggerating or making them up. Maybe you've even tried to rationalize them as coincidences. But your heart knows the truth. You've always known you weren't alone. I need you to honor this truth now, to acknowledge this presence that has always protected you. Leave a comment saying, "I always knew I wasn't alone, and today I honor my spiritual protection." This isn't just a comment, it's an act of gratitude. It's you finally consciously acknowledging this presence that has been working behind the scenes in your life for so long. And when you do this, when you validate this connection publicly, it strengthens the bond. It allows your spiritual protector to work even more powerfully in your life. And your courage in acknowledging this can inspire other Tauruses to honor their own spiritual protectors. The reason this spirit chose to accompany you since childhood has to do with a specific mission you came to fulfill in this life. You're not an ordinary person living an ordinary life, Taurus. You were sent here with a purpose that transcends your current understanding. And this guardian spirit is part of the spiritual team that helps you fulfill that purpose without straying or losing your way. Your mission is connected to stability and transformation. It seems contradictory, doesn't it? But this is precisely what defines the deepest Taurus essence. You came to be an anchor of stability in chaotic times, but also to transform old structures that no longer serve. You are simultaneously the root that holds firm and the force that breaks the concrete to allow new life to sprout. The spirit that accompanies you knows this. It sees your full potential, all the possibilities of what you can become and achieve. And it protects you fiercely because your success in this mission doesn't just affect you, it affects everyone around you. When you find your true path and walk it with Taurian determination, you become a beacon for others. Your emotional stability becomes a safe haven for those who are lost. Your ability to create beauty in the world inspires others to do the same. But to fulfill this mission, you needed to be protected from the traps that could lead you astray. And there were many, there still are, people who would try to use your loyalty against you. Situations that seemed safe, but actually trapped you in gilded cages. Opportunities that shone brightly, but slowly stole your soul. Your spiritual protector has been vigilant, warning you of each of these traps. Think about the way you've always felt about certain people before you even knew them properly. That immediate feeling of, yes, this person is safe, or no, something's wrong here. It wasn't superficial judgment. It was your spiritual protector reading these people's energy at levels your human consciousness can't reach, and passing on the information to you through bodily sensations, sudden intuitions, and unexplained discomforts. You may also have noticed that in the most difficult moments of your life, those periods when everything seemed to be falling apart, you never felt completely hopeless. There was always a small glimmer of hope, a quiet certainty that you would survive. It wasn't just your optimism, it was your spiritual protector holding you energetically, reminding you on subconscious levels that you have strengths you never imagined. This spirit knows you better than you know yourself. It sees all your past lives, your entire soul trajectory. It knows exactly what your spiritual strengths and weaknesses are, what lessons you came to learn, what patterns you need to break, what gifts you need to develop. And it silently works to create situations that push you toward growth, even when you resist. For Tauruses born between April 20th and April 30th, this protective spirit is particularly focused on helping you find your true worth. It puts you in situations that challenge your self-esteem, so you learn to value yourself, regardless of external validation. For those born between May 1st and 10th, the protector works to teach you about healthy boundaries and the correct use of your personal power. For those born between May 11th and 20th, the spirit guides you to discover and develop creative talents that you may be ignoring or underestimating. But regardless of when you were born, all Tauruses with spiritual protectors since childhood share one characteristic. You came to anchor light in dark places, to bring stability where there is chaos, to build beauty where there is destruction. And this mission is neither easy nor safe. That's why the universe assigned you special protection. You may have noticed that since childhood, places and situations that should have destroyed you only made you stronger. Traumas that would have broken others somehow taught you resilience. Losses that seemed unbearable eventually proved necessary for your growth. Your spiritual protector didn't prevent all pain. Some pain is necessary to forge the strength you need, but it always kept you from being destroyed. It always kept you alive, functional, able to carry on. Now a crucial moment has arrived in your life. Your spiritual protector is intensifying his presence because you are about to enter a phase where you will need him more than ever. Not because bad things are going to happen, but because good, powerful, transformative things are coming. And these things will require you to be courageous in ways you've never been before, to trust yourself in ways you've always been afraid to step into your full power instead of hiding in mediocre security. Your guardian spirit has been preparing you for this moment for years. Every difficult lesson, every moment of forced growth, every time you had to choose between comfort and truth, it was all training. You are more prepared than you realize for what lies ahead, and you won't face it alone. You've never been alone. The presence you felt as a child, that comforted you in difficult times, that guided you through the most important decisions, that saved you from dangers you never saw coming. This presence is stronger now than ever. It's calling you to fully awaken, to stop living as if you were a normal person with an ordinary life, to finally acknowledge the truth. You are special, you have a mission, and you have all the spiritual protection you need to fulfill it. Taurus, this spirit didn't choose to protect you out of pity or obligation. It chose you because it saw your potential. It saw the light you carry within, even when you can't see it. It saw all you can become and achieve if you don't give up on yourself. It saw that you're worth every second of protection, every divine intervention, every moment of subtle guidance. And now, he needs you to do your part. He can protect you, he can guide you, he can warn you of dangers, but he can't live your life for you. He can't make the hard choices for you. He can't force you to be brave when you choose to be fearful. He shows you the path, but you must have the courage to walk it. In the coming months, you'll notice his presence in more direct ways, signs that can't be ignored, synchronicities so perfect you'll have to admit they're not coincidences. Moments where you'll physically feel his presence around you, like warmth, a gentle pressure on your shoulders, a sensation of an invisible embrace. Don't be afraid. It's simply your protector showing himself more clearly because you're finally ready to consciously acknowledge this spiritual partnership. You may also begin receiving messages through dreams, not confusing, symbolic dreams, but dreams where you'll clearly know you're talking to your protector. They'll show you things about your future, warn you about situations, and give you specific advice. When you wake up from these dreams, write everything down immediately. These messages are precious and precise. And most importantly, trust your intuition more firmly than ever. When you feel that tightness in your chest telling you, don't do that, don't do it. When you feel the urge to do something that doesn't make logical sense, do it. Your protector is speaking through these feelings. He sees what you don't see. He knows what you don't know, and he has never in your entire life led you astray. The reason you needed to know about this presence now is because a crucial moment of choice is approaching. A fork in your path where you'll have to decide between mediocre security and risky greatness, between the comfortable familiar and the transformative unknown. And your spiritual protector wants you to know that no matter which path seems more daunting, if he's pushing you in that direction, it's because you're completely protected. He would never lead you into something you couldn't handle. He would never put you in situations where you would be destroyed. He knows your real limits, not the imaginary ones fear has created in your mind. And he's telling you now, through these words, through this sense of recognition, you're feeling as you listen to me, you are much stronger, much more capable, much more powerful than you believe. The protection you received as a child wasn't meant to keep you small and safe. It was meant to keep you alive and whole until the moment you were ready to expand into your true greatness. That moment is now. And your protector is here, as always, ready to walk beside you as you take the bravest steps of your life. Taurus, you've never been alone, and you never will be. The spirit that chose to accompany you since childhood won't abandon you now. It will continue to protect you, guide you, and strengthen you. But now it needs you to consciously acknowledge this partnership, to be grateful for the protection you've received, to trust it when it pushes you into the unknown. To be brave, knowing you're completely supported. If this message touched your heart deeply, if you recognized your own story here, share it in the comments, not only to validate your experience, but to honor the presence that has protected you for so long. Say thank you, acknowledge the sacred gift of having this protection. Subscribe to the channel because your connection with your spiritual protector will continue to deepen, and you'll need guidance on how to strengthen this partnership. How to interpret the signs, how to distinguish genuine guidance from disguised fear, how to fulfill the mission you came to accomplish. You were chosen for something special. You've always been protected for a reason. And now it's time to honor that protection by fully living the purpose that brought you here. Your spiritual protector is waiting. The life you came to live is calling you, and you're more ready than you know.